okay, you're saying something that's actually factually inaccurate according to the narrative. Now, let's be real clear. I don't necessarily think they know what's going on yet. There's a lot of weird going on with it.
Buckle up, because the Charlie Kirk assassination case just went from tragic to straight up insane. Picture this, a conservative superstar gunned down in front of thousands, a suspect nabbed in hours, and a story that seemed too tidy from the jump. But now, Joe Rogan and Candace Owens are ripping the lid off, screaming that this whole thing stinks of a cover-up. From a sketchy decoy suspect tied to other national tragedies to whispers of missing millions at Turning Point USA, the dots they're connecting are wild. And get this, even Kirk's wife is now in the hot seat. Rumors are flying, evidence is crumbling, and the internet's in full detective mode. What's the truth behind September 10th, 2025? Is this just a lone shooter or a dark plot hiding in plain sight? Before we dive in, what's your thought? Drop it in the comments section. Let's hear from you. Let's dive into the saga, because trust me, you're not ready for what's coming. It all went down at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, a routine Q&A for Charlie Kirk's Prove Me Wrong tour. The 31-year-old Turning Point USA founder was in his element, firing up students with his no-holds-barred takes. Then, boom, one bullet to the neck and he's gone. Students scream, phones capture every second, and the clip hits X like a tsunami. 80 million views in hours, Charlie Kirk trending with 700K post. Grief mixes with rage as conservatives mourn their hero, while skeptics whisper, something's off. Why no security alarms? How'd a gun slip through a packed campus event? The official story says 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, a local nobody, pulled it off solo, arrested after a 33-hour manhunt with DNA, texts, and a note pinning him cold. Sounds airtight, right? Wrong. The second Joe Rogan opened his mouth, this open and shut case started unraveling faster than a cheap sweater, and what he said next lit the internet on fire. Joe Rogan doesn't buy it, not one bit. On his September 2025 podcast, he called the Kirk case Swiss cheese full of holes. First up, the weapon. Cops say Tyler used a rebuilt World War I rifle. Yeah, a 100-year-old gun to nail a precision shot. Joe laughed out loud. A kid with no gun skills rebuilt a museum piece for a sniper hit? Come on! He pointed out the rifle in photos looks modern, with a composite stock and scope, not some rusty relic. Fans lost it, flooding X with Kirk cover-up posts, racking up 300K likes in a day. Then there's this wild decoy suspect, an older guy screaming, "I did it!" Post-shot acting erratic, even reportedly dropping his pants in the crowd. Rogan dug deeper. This dude's face allegedly pops up at 9/11, the Boston bombing. And now this? What are the odds? Joe asked, voice dripping with suspicion. And get this, days later, that guy's nabbed on serious unrelated charges, silencing him before anyone could dig. Too neat, Rogan said, and TikTok sleuths agreed, posting side-by-side pics of the guy at past tragedies. The internet's buzzing. Was he a plant to distract? Joe's not saying conspiracy outright, but his "this feels scripted" vibe sent everyone into overdrive. And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, Candace Owens entered the chat with a bombshell that flipped the script entirely. Candace didn't just question the story, she torched it. In an October 2025 livestream, she flat out said Tyler Robinson was framed. Everything they're feeding us is a lie, she told her million-plus viewers, sparking 500K X reactions overnight. Her evidence? Start with Tyler's surrender. Cops claim his dad pushed him to confess, but Candace says a family friend tipped them off after Tyler was named. No confession, just panic. Then those texts tying him to the crime? They don't even sound like him, she snapped. Words like vehicle instead of car, stiff, like a Fed wrote them. And the bullet carvings linking Tyler to the gun? She says he looked clueless in court when they mentioned them. Not a gun guy, doesn't shoot, doesn't collect, yet he's a master sniper, Owen scoffed. Her biggest bomb? Kirk's last act, ordering a massive TPUSA audit days before the shooting. He was digging into millions gone missing, she claimed, hinting at a rogue unit inside TPUSA funneling cash to shady projects. X exploded with TPUSA scandal, users digging up donor lists tied to political heavyweights. Candace's point, Kirk was about to blow the whistle and someone wanted him quiet, but that decoy guy Rogan mentioned? Oh, it gets way wilder than you think. Just decoy suspect is where things go full Twilight Zone. Picture it, right after the shot, while everyone's panicking, this older dude in the crowd starts yelling, "I did it, I did it," acting unhinged, causing a scene. Witnesses say he was out of control, some claiming he even exposed himself. Weird, right? But here's the kicker. Online sleuths found reports linking this guy to 9/11 crowds, Boston Marathon chaos, even a fake bomb threat elsewhere. Same face, same MO, always at big events, always disruptive. Rogan couldn't believe it. This guy's a tragedy magnet? or a hired distraction? Then days after Kirk's death, he's arrested on heavy charges. Think serious hush-hush stuff conveniently keeping him off the radar. Reddit threads blew up, with users posting grainy event photos. Is this him again? The timing's too perfect, they say. A loud decoy to pull focus while the real shooter slips away. X posts scream plant, with 200K shares on one thread alone. Was he a lone nut or a pawn in a bigger game? Either way, his shadow looms large, and it's got people questioning what Kirk was really up against. Because Kirk wasn't just fighting campus liberals, he was poking giants. Candace spilled that in the weeks before his death. Charlie was under fire from TPUSA's own donors. He'd started questioning big money ties, especially after platforming Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith, who jab at unchecked funding for certain global policies. A week before the shooting, Kirk signed a memo launching a dog initiative, fancy talk for a deep dive audit into TPUSA's books. Insiders whisper millions were vanishing into consulting firms with murky ties. One name floated, billionaire Bill Ackman, who allegedly clashed with Kirk over his Israel stance at a Hamptons retreat. Candace claims Ackman threatened to pull funding if Charlie didn't toe the line. Ackman denies it, calling it absurd, but ex-users aren't buying, posting screenshots of his TPUSA donations dropping pre-shooting. Then there's the staff exodus, key players bailing weeks before, some resurfacing at lobbying firms with government contracts. Kirk's audit was set to expose it all, and Candace says that made him a target. You don't clean house like that unless you're ready for war, she warned. But then Kirk's wife stepped into the spotlight and the internet lost its mind. Here's where it gets juicy. Charlie's wife, Erica, takes over as TPUSA's CEO days after his death. Grieving widow stepping up? Maybe, but online detectives smell a power play. Just days before the shooting, Charlie's memo named Justin Stray as COO to lead the audit, not Erica. Yet post-funeral, she's running the show, and Stray's nowhere. Ex-posts went feral. Was this planned? Clips of her at the funeral, calm, composed, sparked cruel whispers of crocodile tears, though no proof backs that. Some dug up her old political ties, linking her to donor circles Kirk was clashing with. One viral thread claims she knew about the audit and stayed quiet. Others say she's just a scapegoat for a grieving fan base desperate for answers. Either way, her lightning-fast rise in TPUSA's silence on the audit, zero statements, zero updates, have conspiracy boards buzzing. Was Erica continuing Charlie's fight or burying it? The timing's too eerie, and with Rogan and Owens fanning the flames, attention's turning to the evidence itself. Spoiler, it's falling apart fast. The official story? It's crumbling like a bad plot twist. No video shows Tyler on that rooftop pulling the trigger, none. Few views crawling with cams, yet the only clips are blurry, some cut mid-chaos. One shows a figure walking, not running post-shot. Odd for a panic killer. Then there's the police radio log leak. Officers initially reported 2 suspects, but the second one? Poof. Gone from reports within an hour, never named. TikTok sleuths caught it before it was scrubbed, racking up 1M views. Ballistics? Sealed tight, but whispers say the bullet doesn't match Tyler's rifle. And those surveillance stills of him? Timestamps don't sync with daylight per Reddit's photo nerds. Mainstream outlets aren't helping. Articles from September calling Tyler the lone gunman got edited by October to suspect pending review. Screenshots of those changes are viral, with 400K retweets asking, what are they hiding? Rogan nailed it. Hide the ballistics, seal the files. It's not about truth, it's control. Even creepier? Those mystery men in earpieces at the event spotted by students, vanishing post-shot. Not cops, not security. Who were they? Candace's take, this is a movie and we're missing the director's cut. So what's the real truth here and why is it buried so deep? This isn't just a shooting anymore. It's a puzzle with half the pieces missing. Joe Rogan's calling out the holes, Candace Owens is waving red flags, and the internet's screaming for answers. Was Tyler Robinson a lone nut or a patsy in a game way above his pay grade? Did Kirk's audit threaten to expose secrets someone would kill to keep? And what about Erica, hero or hidden player? The decoy suspect, sealed files, and TPUSA's silence scream one thing, we're not getting the full story. Something big went down on September 10th, and the truth's still out there buried under layers of spin. So what do you think, random tragedy or calculated hit? Drop your theories in the comments, hit that like button if this blew your mind, and subscribe to stay locked in as this saga unfolds. Share this to spread the word. Let's keep the pressure on until the real story breaks. Catch you in the next one, because trust me, this rabbit hole's only getting deeper.